Hello, Planner fam. In today's sticker therapy session, we're going to create a spread for my wellness planner. And I wanted to issue a trigger warning. Today we'll be discussing suicide and reflecting on Stephen Twitch, boss. Come on back. Hi, I'm Andrea, and you're watching Andrea Planning. Where do I start? So, I saw on Facebook yesterday about the brutal suicide of Twitch. And this is someone I'd followed from So You Think You Can Dance. But nonetheless, I don't think I've ever boo-hoo ugly cried for someone I've never met before the way I did yesterday. I mean, it was near like a panic attack almost. I'm very surprised by my response. So I've never been so grateful to be behind on my spreads, because today is the 15th and I have not yet done my my wellness spread for this week. And so that is what I'm going to be working on. It's not that it couldn't have been done another week, but I am glad to do it in the week that I'm processing all this. So I just pulled some sheets from Winter Blooms, Live Love Posh Winter Blooms. And I created a sticker with Twitch's picture. I'm going to be using boxes from Mojo Jojo. And then there's a couple quotes, I think, in here that I would like to include. One of them is huge, so probably lay that down pretty early. But let's see. Do I want to cover it here? So yes, I ugly cried yesterday so hard, and I think I was talking about it with another therapist friend of mine, and what we reflected on is it's been years, right, since Robin Williams, and that was a shock to the system. And even though we know the statistics and we know some of the signs, right? Like, for instance, and I'm not going to make this into a lecture or anything like that, but I do want to share that if you see someone going through a sudden change, like an introvert that becomes an extrovert or vice versa, inquire, check in with them, ask what's going on, how has life been, what thoughts are invading your mind. So what my friend and I discussed is that in a post, color your world with kind words. I don't think I want to cover that. All right, so I'll move this up. In a post-COVID world where we have more respect, seemingly we have more respect for therapy and mental health and the importance of it, it's a shock to see that it's not lack of access that leads someone to continue in the downward spiral that they were on, unknown to anyone else. Need to grab my tweezers. I'll be right back. So, yeah, it's not the lack of access, you know. There's other things. There are other barriers to getting help. You can't escape your mind, you know, and there are so many examples of the seemingly happiest people who probably, I'm not saying that his joy wasn't real. It's just that joy and pain can coexist in the same body. Some might say that it takes you feeling deep pain to be able to feel deep joy, to be able to be a great light, which is a lot of the message that I see on social media, that he was such a great light. I know I personally have always enjoyed watching him. I actually, every year when I see that, you know, So You Think You Can Dance is about to launch again, I pull up my favorite dance video of his from his time on the show when he was a contestant or, you know, a visiting person. Now he was a judge. And anyway, I pull up this one YouTube video routine that I love of his, which is with him and Alex dancing. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Where he, you know, is trying to convince someone to dance their style, and then in the end it's a compromise between both their styles of hip-hop and classical ballet, which I love that message of coming together and taking from each other and borrowing from each other's worlds. I can't promise not to get emotional while I'm talking. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna lay down the quote because it's, like I said, it's big. So, it's right here. So I might put it in the beginning of the week since that's already passed. Ooh, should I layer it? No, because he's not alive, so that won't make sense. I love storms don't last forever. Do I have this in frame? I love storms don't last forever. And I hope there are days when you fall in love with being alive. But that's my message to you all, to the community. So is this spread to him or is this to the community? I'm going to say it's to the community, to myself and the community. So I'll put this here. So this is unclear, so I might have to do a lot of whitening out in order for the, if it works. No, I will white it out. Oh, okay, it is done. It's not straight, but it's ripping. I need to buy that Goo Gone thing. Okay. What is this song that this reminds me of? I hope you can dance. I hope you choose to dance. Something like that. I think it's Shania Twain. So the brutality of his death, I think, is one of the things that still sits with me. I think this color goes nicely with the sticker, so I won't redo that. Oh, actually, yeah. So I won't have to cover this. Okay, it blends in nicely. Good grief. I can barely think. All right. Yes, so I think, you know what, I'm gonna lay down a black box over here. I think that that is what shocks me the most, because for instance, Chadwick's death, that hit me hard as well. You know, it was unexpected. I didn't know about his illness or anything, and but I guess there's a difference between someone seemingly, I say seemingly, choosing to end their life, and someone whose life was taken due to illness, due to physical illness. Both were taken due to illness. Just one was known and one was unknown. And it's not even sad, it's not even the word. It's heartbreaking, it's maddening to know that here we are doing everything that we can, and this disease is still taking beautiful light. And I hope you all know that whole what's the story called? The children's story? What is his name? Dr. Seuss. Have you heard that we've actually been saying his name wrong this whole time? I don't know the correct way is. So I'll just say Dr. Seuss. That whole Dr. Seuss line of, "You're the only you." It's so true. You are really the only you. And I guess I could hear the cynic saying, yeah, that's a good thing. You wouldn't want another me. I'm that terrible. And I just want to tell that person that that's a lie. It is. You can heal. You can face anything. And I've worked with people who have committed horrific crimes. Horrific crimes. If there's hope for someone who's inflicted so much pain on the world, there's hope for you who have not. And I'm not saying this lightly. I was the teen who tried to commit suicide by prayer, I guess. You know, I cried out to God nightly as a teenager, as a young adult even, saying, why am I here? Take my life. All I do is cause pain. Because I seemingly couldn't get anything done right, which is crazy, because I actually accomplished a great many things. It doesn't seem that way when you have dark thoughts. And I think that's the bottom line. You don't know what's in anyone's mind. So let's be kind to each other. Let's pause before reacting. Let's learn to respond instead of react. Let's love one another in action, you know? There was a time when I worked in retail. I remember this always stood with me. There was a time that I worked in retail, and this one particular day, it was, Black Friday weekend. And I worked in a clothing store, and I was refolding this table for the 20th time, and like I told you, like I just hinted at, my teen years and young adult years were pretty dark internally, and but everyone says, love your smile lights up the room, that kind of thing. So this lady, I was refolding this table for the 20th time, wondering if this is my life, will I never amount to anything? Those kind of thoughts. And this customer grabbed my attention with her smile and gaze and said directly to me, making sure to make eye contact and that kind of thing. So in a way that I heard, and like I said, it still sits with me today, is I see your light. I see your beautiful light, and it is stunning. I cannot thank her enough for those words. You don't know the impact that your words could have on someone. You know? So let's be kind to each other. Let's share ourselves. Let's plug into an enriching community so that someone sees if something's different with you. Someone that you trust. And if you don't yet have that, please go to therapy. I just remembered I was going to put down a number here. All right. New game plan. And isn't that what life is? Shifting and pivoting. Do we still use the word pivot? Pivoting to new game plans. When things don't go the way that you hoped and wanted. Just checking to make sure we're still recording. Yes. Okay. Okay, I want to write some things that I did do here. So let's put down some boxes. One here. I might not use any flat boxes actually. I mean, any box from that book. I hate that this is crooked. You guys, life isn't perfect. And I bet I could still see this as beautiful, even though it's not laid down correctly. Isn't that the message of life? I just want to hug everyone and each and every one of you know how very much wanted you are. And if you're receiving the message that you're not wanted, it's a lie. Dispel of that lie. Persevere. If you don't have the energy to persevere, borrow it from someone until you do. A trusted other. Because had it happened the way that I asked, had I passed, had I never existed, there's so many things that would not have been done, and I can't imagine a world without my sons. You just don't know. Okay, I pulled these numbers from Mamby Sticks. this pack of Mandy sticks here. This is the crisis hotline for mental health. It's also called the suicide hotline, which I think sounds weird. So that's why I like to say mental health crisis hotline. I guess it's the same thing. Anyway, here, I'll put it across here. I challenge you to learn this like how we know 911. I'll layer this with flowers. Now put it here. Okay, that's the plan. I challenge us to learn this like how we know 911. And most times it's going to be someone observing that calls. And if there's someone you know that you think should reach out for help, but they don't know the first step, and you don't know the first step, share that you would be on the line with them. You will call with them. Sometimes we just need the presence of someone else there to move us from point A to point A1, not even fully to B yet. But even if it's a quarter of a step, sometimes we just need that other person to help us there. Oh, my heart is so heavy. What did I want to do? I wanted to layer flowers. So, how are you doing? How did this news impact you? Is there someone that comes to mind that you wonder about? Give them a call. The presence of others, laughter, someone witnessing your life, someone witnessing your pain, someone who you can be brutally, completely naked with, can make the difference between whether you're here today or not. Not even tomorrow, just today. I really love this set. Okay, so I'm going to put this here and then I'll put the numbers on top. So yes, let's connect with each other. I, for instance, really appreciate this Saturday night planner group, Planner Shenanigans, a Zoom group that I join every once in a while on Saturday nights, most Saturday nights. And we're all very different individuals, very different walks of life, different worldviews, and we can bond about this hobby. And we talk about life, and we share laughter. And it's beautiful. People exchange gifts sometimes between each other, which I think is phenomenal. It's a tangible, I see you, you know? So what is this number? 988. Are you saying it? Say it again. 988. If you are tempted to harm yourself or harm someone else, that's a cry to call 988. If you see someone who has suddenly changed, who's given random gifts to strangers, giving away their possessions, call 988. Like I said, someone who has, I didn't want to cover the quote. Someone who has, I wish I got written that line. Someone who has suddenly changed in how they behave, in how they move. Just be sure to check in with them. I think sometimes just knowing that someone sees me, it could be a shock, a beautiful shock. To learn that I matter to someone else. I talk often about the unique light we each have to shine and how the world needs it. And yes, we can choose to shine a dark light, or spread darkness, I should say, if we're not healed from our own hurts. That is your invitation to seek help for a transformative change, because transformation is possible. I have seen it. I have been privy to witness it. It really is possible. And I've been privy to experience it. I never would have thought that the girl that was begging to die would fall in love with being alive. It's not every day, guys. I still have very dark days. But now I'm armed with the experience that they don't last forever. And me gone is worse than me being here. I'm grounded in that truth. So I invite you to learn that truth for yourself. If it's slowing down this season because things are hectic and you're expected to do this, and that, don't do it. I saw this thing on social media the other day, how the first Christmas was pretty simple. So this one can be too. Just saying. All right. I think it's now time to put this one down. I pray for his family, his children, his wife. I pray for everyone that this news touches. Unfortunately, when news of suicide breaks, when it comes out, it often leads to others. It often leads to an increase in suicide attempts. So when I say to check on your loved ones, I mean now, today. Check on them. If you need a starting point, start with gratitude. What is one thing that you can be grateful for? Is it the ground that your feet is planted on? Is it the last meal that you ate? Is it the breath in your lungs? There's so many things that we take for granted. Start with gratitude. I want to go up above this line, actually. Twitch, I really enjoyed your light and your smile. And it breaks my heart that you saw no other way out. I think this might be it. No, I wanted to do the ribbon. What do you guys think? Above the 988? Yes. Remember. And then this over here. Okay, now I think that's it. Thank you for joining me today. If you liked hanging out with me, please be sure to click the like button and subscribe. And I will see you for our next sticker therapy session. Bye.